got trampled on. It was a screen that, if I could have gotten out there to it, it probably would have walked in for a touchdown, and Mike blamed it on me for getting stepped on.
Well, we could be seeing some of that tonight. We're going to send you out to kickoff. It is Mick Mixon and Mike Rucker on the call. We'll see you guys at halftime.
Best playing surfaces in the NFL. The Gano approach, he accelerates, and the preseason is underway. Our Gatorade Heard Around the Cooler report is brought to you by Gatorade. Let's go to Kevin Donnelly and find out what stories he's tracking tonight around the cooler.
Well, certainly the Carolina Panthers offense needs to improve from 2017. And two big things that they did this offseason was sign free agent left tackle Matt Khalil from the Vikings. He'll be joining his brother Ryan Khalil on this Carolina Panthers offensive line. And then in the second round of the draft, they were able to pick up Taylor Moton, who's their big right tackle, he's 6'5", 320 pounds, and he's going to be a road grader. Two guys to keep an eye on as the season goes.
Sometimes it seems like Moton is 600 pounds, the way he pushes people around. Pocket being pressured. Savage gets the ball out of there quickly, but just a whisker behind the intended receiver with K1 Short providing some heat right up in there.
Well, if this is a glimpse of how this season will be, you'll take it. You'll see big KK Short come in here and get the pressure on the quarterback, making it real hard for this quarterback early on, setting the tone for this defense.
Second and 10, Houston. Panthers front seven should be one of the best in school history. People a little twitchy pre-snap, no flags down. And then the handoff sweep. Miller trucking right side, nowhere to run. Luke Kuechly wrapped him up.
Well, we talked about him in the open, Mick, about how excited he was to get back. He's been off for a while. He missed 6 games last year. That's a product of your front four, leaving you free to be able to run to the ball. You can see Luke Kuechly, he's as fast as they come.
So Houston off schedule, loss of 3, third down 13. Couple of blitzers, potential blitzers up in the A-gaps. Davis dropping into coverage. Savage from a muddy pocket taken down. K1 Short from the backside.
Let me tell you something. When you start off 3 plays in the first series and you impact 2 of the 3, you know that you're off on the right foot. They press the 2 A-gaps. K1 Short just comes in and claps the pocket and gets his sack.
Some O-linemen getting manhandled up front on that first series. So the punt is away. Leckler. Tail dragging spiral. Demir Bird at the 39. Looking for the corner. Oh, Lace at the 45, right in front of the Panther bench. 45-yard punt, 6 on the return. The Miller Lite starting lineups brought to you by our friends at Miller Lite. Kelvin Benjamin headlines a receiving corps with all kinds of talent. Running back Jonathan Stewart, the big bopper. Up front, Matt Khalil, the new addition. The Panthers center guard combination among the best in football. And Derek Anderson at quarterback tonight. DA, Oregon State in his 13th year. Quick slant, caught Benjamin, bounces off a defender, first down and more to the 37-yard line of Houston. 17-yard throw and catch, Anderson to Benjamin.
You got to be excited about how you start off. This is just a little in route to the big guy. This is why when you're so big like this, the little corners will bounce off of you. And look at the yak yards after KB's catch. And a nice little stiff arm as the corner overplays him. It's a good start for KB and Derek Anderson.
Christian McCaffrey in, hands on his knee pads. It's McCaffrey for 2 yards. So there's Derek Anderson. You see his career numbers. And the Panthers feel really good about DA's ability to get you out of a game, even to spot start if need be.
And that's going to be what he needs to do. He needs to be ready when his number's called. Hopefully he's ready to go. But if DA's number's called, he'll be ready. He's a veteran. He's been around, so he shouldn't be able to rattle him.
Big arm. DA can spin the ball. 6'6". Short set, looking, Olsen, the intended receiver. Two defenders were there. Brian Cushing, the Mike linebacker. Houston's whole thing is their D. The #1 defense last year in football. Here's some of the reasons why. DJ Reader, nose tackle, huge man, played baseball at Clemson. Jadeveon Clowney headlining a linebacking group among the best in the AFC. And then Jonathan Joseph, a Rock Hill, South Carolina native, leading the back end up for Houston. 3rd down 8. Anderson checks it down. Funch has hung on to it, but he'll be upended well short of the line to gain. Good low tackle, clean and hard by Kareem Jackson, the right corner.
You know, Funches, he's just going to slide underneath this zone coverage here. Going to make the catch. And you got to know when you're coming across the middle, there will be somebody on the other side. Jackson making the good tackle.
So Graham Gano will draw down on a 50-yard field goal, and he has been thumping the ball at Camp Wofford. It's away, and he hooked it. Just missed it left. So Houston will get good field position. The spot the kick was attempted. Preseason football tonight from Bank of America Stadium. Bank of America Stadium. Mixture of clouds and sun in uptown Charlotte. Houston will take over. 1st and 10 from the -40. And that's Tom Savage. Attended Butler, Arizona, and Pittsburgh. 3 different colleges. Miller, the lone setback. Miller through a small crease to the 43. Texans offense revolves around DeAndre Hopkins, 5th-year player out of Clemson, one of the best receivers in the NFL. Prosh, a rugged fullback. The offensive line, Xavier Suafilo and company. O-line fan back like airplane wings, indicating a possible pass. Blitz on. Braxton Miller left flat. Quickly, Kurt Coleman closed the space on him and made a nice tackle in the open field. Panther defense, Kawan Short, Wes Horton, Starla Tulele, Mario Addison up front. Combination of size, speed, and strength. Linebacking core, one of the best in the league. And then Mike Adams brought in, made the Pro Bowl at age 34 and at age 35 to help lead this Carolina Panther secondary. On 3rd down and 5. Split middle look by the Panther D. Savage had Miller, but overthrew him. Thomas Davis shadowing him closely. Thomas Davis, how can he run like that this long into his career?
You got to be amazed by what he has done in his body of work, coming off 3 ACL surgeries, but comes back stronger than ever. And he has the speed. He hasn't really lost a step.
Leckler in his 18th year, the punt to Demir Bird. Wobbly one. Demir Bird to the edge. And a lot of work to get it to the 30-yard line.
But that's what you're looking for out of this special teams play. I really believe that this is one.
Cream, when the Panthers score, you score. And it's all available in the App Store. Derek Anderson flings it long downfield. Olsen caught in stride, yanked down at the 39-yard line. 32 yards.
Well, this offensive line brought some guys in to help with protection, and they do a great job. Look at this pocket that allows Derek Anderson to throw the ball right down to a wide open Greg Olsen.
Yes, Tyler Larson did a great job up front, singling up on his block, adding protection so that Kent could get that ball down the field.
Derek Anderson getting everybody squared away. Russell Shepard making sure he's lined up right. McCaffrey takes the handoff, darts through an opening, keeps his pads and his legs churning. First down rushing, Carolina Panthers.
You know, one of the things that he brings to the table is obviously his speed and quickness, but he's not the tallest guy, so he just gets behind his lineman, and it's hard to find him in there, and then all of a sudden, he pops out on you and then dives for a few more yards. This is really going to be exciting to watch him this year and what he brings to this offense.
McCaffrey out, Stewart in. McCaffrey has been likened to Curtis Martin from your era, Ruck, or near your era anyway, in terms of his ability to make decisions in the interior. Stewart gets whacked right as he took the handoff.
You talk about McCaffrey, and some people say, well, he's too small to run up inside the tackles. Well, there's a prime example of him going up inside the tackles. He can do it. And he can go out the backfield and catch the ball. So it's going to be exciting to see what he brings to this offense.
Seemed like it'd be tough to get a good lick on McCaffrey, too, because he's compact and strong and knows how to use his pass.
Yeah, once he gets past those first 3 yards, he's in the open field. He's dangerous.
Second down, 11. 0-0 ball game so far. Middle crowded. Stewart bounces it right. Here's what the Carolina Panthers did last year. 19th in total yards, 15th in scoring. Mike Shula, the offensive coordinator, very excited about some of the weapons brought in, not just in the draft class, but also with some free agent signings as well. There you see Coach Shula, former Alabama quarterback and son of Don Shula. On third down. Benjamin, touchdown. Unbelievable catch by KB with Jonathan Joseph hanging all over it.
This is textbook, Mick. This reminds me of his rookie year when you just put the ball up in the air. DA looks at him and then goes away and holds that corner for him and then puts the ball up, and then KB does the rest. This is kind of like old school backyard basketball. Put the ball up, alley-oop. I use my 6'5" height, touchdown, KB.
And that's a great corner he did that against too. Jonathan Joseph is no box of candy. Benjamin gained a little weight. He took a little bit of a puffy picture back in late spring, early summer, and I don't know how he did it, but he just got mad at it, and 2 weeks later he was fit and trim again.
Well, the way that he jumped and leaped right there, I think that he's in a pretty good spot right now.
To make it 7-0 Carolina. Good. Graham Gano put it through the pipes. Derek grab for the touchdown. High kickoff. Miller tracking it and takes a knee. Nothing else happening around the NFL tonight, but there are 7 games on the schedule for tomorrow night, including Atlanta and Miami. It'll be fascinating to see what the Falcons do, how they respond this year or don't from that eviscerating Super Bowl loss. How do you see it, Russ?
Yeah, I mean, that's the challenge. I think a lot of people have a challenge when you don't win that Super Bowl and you're there and you get to the top, but you don't get it. You know, the Panthers felt that last year going 6-10 after the Super Bowl. So it's going to be interesting. Can they bounce back from that hard loss?
Some more of the games from tomorrow night brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Quick throw right side. Ryan Griffin, the tight end. That's a tough pass to defend. Quarterback sprints out. Dumps it to a receiver on the same side of the field as him. Used to going no huddle, speeding it up a little bit. Alfred Blue in the backfield. Blue ran through the arms of Shaq Thompson and fell forward to the 42.
Hey guys, I got a different defensive line in there right now. Some of the starters coming out, but big Vernon Butler's in there trying to control the middle. And there's the guys out there trying to fight for that roster spot to be backups on this team. This is where some battles need to be won.
2nd down and 4. Bubble screen. 1st down, Houston, their first of the game. Braxton Miller to the 49-yard line. Seven-yard pickup. Luke Kuechly, Ben Boulware behind him. And the head coach of the Panthers, Ron Rivera, on the near sideline. Five-man rush. And a completion to the great DeAndre Hopkins for 5 yards. Hopkins, one of 5 Clemson Tigers on the Houston Texans roster. Something in the water down in Rock Hill, because they can turn out football players.
They're not lying. They're producing from down there and pushing them out.
Braxton Miller, this time near side. Wes Horton quickly got to the football.
Yeah, this is what Steve Wilks wants, guys running out of the stacks, and as a defensive lineman, Wes Horton being able to get out of there from that defensive spot.
Got an injured Panther, and it looks like it's Vernon Butler.
Everything's been going really well. He's not happy, so he feels something.
Head athletic trainer Ryan Vermillion on the left. Mark
Grabs his left knee, but it didn't look like it stuck in the ground, but I'm just hoping that he's all right.
As we said, too, he's been one of these stories at training camp. Second-year player seems to have really turned a corner, and he's been basically unblockable by the O-line at Camp Wofford. Savage looked right, then came back to the left for good yardage and a first down. Alfred blew it back out of the backfield, hit down by Shaq Thompson to the Carolina 39, 7-yard gain. So they're talking to Vernon Butler. His reaction early on was not great. He seemed like he was in some pain, maybe has calmed down some now. On first down. Savage with pressure coming off the edge. Penalty flags killed the play, so hold the phone here. Tony Corrini's the referee.
Offense number 63. 5-yard penalty remains third down.
Kendall Lamb, the right tackle. Coach Rivera, two-time NFL Coach of the Year in his 7th year at Carolina. The kind of coach I think, Mike, that his players want to do well for, and they want to do well with.
Absolutely. He treats them that way, too. So guys really love playing for him.
1st and 15. Lead draw. Good hole at first for Alfred Blue, and then the white jerseys got there. Another penalty marker drop, this one in the offensive backfield.
Offense number 45. 10-yard penalty remains first down.
Jay Prosh, the fullback out of Auburn.
The Texans have struggled to kind of get out of their way a little bit. They've kind of switched to a hurry-up offense, try to get some tempo. They get a little bit of movement, but penalties have stalled this drive for them a little bit.
Meanwhile, Vernon Butler putting some weight on his left leg. Well, team orthopedist Pat Connor talks with him. First and 21. Alfred Blue for a couple, 5 yards. Desmond Southward, one of the first to get there for the Panthers. Anderson to Benjamin, one of the highlights of the game so far. Libby Weisman will show that to you, along with other highlights at halftime. Savage on 2nd and long. Being pressured. Shuffles up. Blue darter over the middle. Caught by Strong for a first down to the 26-yard line. 18-yard gain. Teddy Williams made the tackle.
Now the Texans give enough pass protection. They get a little bit of pressure. The Savage is able to step up in the pocket and deliver one down the field to be able to move the chains for them. That's a big play for the Houston Texans. They're trying to get some mojo going.
Flags from the defensive secondary as Alfred Blue carried into the red zone to the 15. Breno Giacomini guilty of the hold. This is the 3rd penalty on this Texans drive, so they're having to recapture yardage that they had already gained.
Well, I'm glad you were keeping count, because I lost count of the flags and the holding calls so far on this drive. They keep just hurting themselves with these penalties.
Late first quarter, you see the score. Panthers up a touchdown. This will be the 10th play of this Texans drive. Good look at that cover 2 shell in the back. Savage, short drop. fires underneath. And then a rough and ready tackle by David Mayo. Almost twisted the head off of Tyler Irvin, who caught that pass. Let's watch Mayo.
Well, Mayo's got a lot of space to work with, and that's a tough route to defend when a guy options off of you like that. But stayed on his right hip and was able to get him down. Had a little bit of help from his other linebacker, Norris. Jared Norris, 52, coming off to hold him up.
Second and 10. Savage pats the ball and finds Hopkins for a first down. 11-yard pickup. Desmond Southward made the tackle. Here's our CPI red zone offense, courtesy of CPI, the official security and home automation company of the Carolina Panthers. Houston last year, 41% touchdown percentage in the red zone. They'd like for that to be higher this year.
Yeah, they would definitely like that, and this kind of run right here will help them out to improve that stat.
A touchdown. 16 yards. Alfred Blue muscled it in there.
Yeah, I think, you know, this play, it's a long drive here, and it's kind of warm and humid. You see the platoon of guys coming in. I have to wonder, are guys getting a little winded because they're starting to get, they're not getting off blocks. You're seeing guys getting pushed by the play. Allowed this touchdown in the red zone.
So that drive, about 75 yards, probably actually picked up about 125 yards because they kept having to regain penalty yardage, but Bill O'Brien's club executed. PAT that would tie it. Veteran kicker Nick Novak. 12 plays, 75 yards, 7:02 elapsed. Novak stabs it up into the air, and it's good. So 7-7, Houston answering after being dominated for a lot of the first quarter by the Carolina Panther defense. Cam Newton, the Carolina Panthers starting quarterback, and Coach Rivera is fired up about his future.
By week, you know, we'll see how he reacts to the amount of throws. You know, what we've done is, you know, he went and saw the doctor. Doctor's fine with his shoulder. He just thinks right now the soreness is obviously things that are going to happen. What we have to do is we got to be really smart and judicious. We got to limit the types of throws he throws, not just, you know, numbers. You know, you can increase the numbers, but it's the type of throw. You know, he loves to throw the deep ball, and sometimes he can't help himself.
Yeah, you know, and what Coach Rivera is talking about is like Cam's a competitor, and so they have to watch that arm and give that time. Let the shoulder tell you when it's ready. But Cam likes that deep throw, and that puts a lot of pressure on that joint and that shoulder that he has surgery on, and that's what they want to monitor.
Is this killing Cam Newton to not be playing tonight, or at least even be in uniform?
Absolutely. He's a competitor. I mean, if it's paper, rock, scissors, he wants to win. And so even though he knows he needs to do the right thing and rest it up, he wants to be out there.
Fozzie Whitaker, no chance to return the kickoff. Cam Newton, the youngest to do this, rushing and passing, ranking him, Mike, among some of the NFL's iconic QBs.
Yeah, that's great company right there. I mean, obviously Dan Marino, you know, in the hall, and, you know, Peyton Manning, he's just buying his time until he gets there. So if you can continue to be with these guys and these numbers, you're heading in the right direction.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Joe Webb will take over. Derek Anderson playing almost all of the first quarter. Webb with McCaffrey beside him. Trying to set the screen up, and it was deflected. Screenplay is such a timing play. When it works, it's one of the most beautiful plays in the game.
Yeah, I mean, really for a defensive lineman, the only way you can really stop it is trying to get your hands up like they did. But I like Mike Shula's play calling and what they're trying to do and getting McCaffrey going. And those quick little screens are right up his alley.
Two tight ends line up to the near side. On 2nd and 10. Handoff sweep. McCaffrey accelerates and close to the first down stakes. Simple ball play, but with McCaffrey's speed, the first quarter ends with an exclamation point. So the two teams will flip around the second quarter.
But Carolina Panthers offense has played well.
Joe Webb throwing into double coverage. Scott Simonson, the intended receiver. Webb hung in the pocket. Corey Moore, the strong safety, running with Simonson. So the Panthers will have to punt away.
Yeah, he just tries to make a play on the ball. Ball a little bit underthrown right there. But I think that if it was overthrown, it might have been in trouble, so it might have worked out well.
Andy Lee, tremendous battle going on for the Panthers starting punter job between Lee, the right-footed veteran, and then Michael Pilardi, the left-footed younger player. Lee didn't get all of it. And out of bounds near side. So Vernon Butler was shaken up earlier for the Carolina Panthers. Let's find out how he's doing with Kevin Donnelly on the sideline. Katie?
Vernon Butler will not be joining them on the field. He injured his left knee. He is questionable to return. The good news is he's been able to put weight on it. He's moving around. Doesn't appear to be in a lot of pain, and he's just on the sideline icing it down.
Thomas Davis talking to him, some words of encouragement. And meanwhile, the kid is in. Deshaun Watson, 12th pick in the 2017 NFL draft. He sprints right and dumps it short range to Rashawn Allen. So let the record show that the first pass in an NFL preseason game from Deshaun Watson was complete for 6 yards. Be interesting to see how he functions in an NFL pocket. Took the Tigers to 2 straight national championship games, and of course won it last season. Had a tight end open and then overthrew him. Just flung it right over Evan Bayless's head. Yeah, there's some orange in the stands cheering him on.
There is definitely some orange, and he's got to feel comfortable coming here knowing that he's not too far from home and playing his college career. I think the first play tells you what kind of guy he is. He can move the pocket, he can run it, and he can throw it. So it's going to be interesting to see the defensive ends for the Carolina Panthers. Can they keep him in the pocket?
Watson, 3rd down and 4. Thrown out of the pistol. In trouble, backs up, buying time. First down, Houston with a penalty flag down. Rez Anderson in the comeback drill worked back upfield and made himself a target for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, we'll look at this, but this is a contained
Number 17
deal.
on the offense stepped out of bounds, came back in, was the first to touch the pass. Therefore, it is a loss of down. Where the ball was snapped from, it'll be 4th down.
It's an expensive penalty.
It is. This is what Watson's going to give you. If you don't hold your contain as a defensive end, he's going to buy time and roll out of the pocket, and he's going to make plays like that.
2 of the possible future bright stars in the league playing tonight. Deshaun Watson and Christian McCaffrey. Beautiful high arcing punt. Kalen Clay makes the first man miss. Nice spin move, keeps his balance. Kalen Clay to the 29-yard line. Inspirational punt return.
He's a veteran. If I didn't know that he was just drafted, I would think he'd been in that on this team for a long time.
Ends in tight play action. Manhurts from Webb for 8 and a flag down. while the penalty sorted out, Mike, in a 7-7 game, would it be true to say that to play running back in the NFL, you got to learn how to be good with and without the football? Blitz pickup, pass pro, so important.
Yeah, that's the one thing that he'll probably look at.
Illegal use of the hands, hands to the face, defense number 32. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Divergent call for the illegal hands to the face.
Yeah, you know, he can run the ball. He knows that. In this game, you're going to have linebackers wanting to blitz and get that mismatch with him because of maybe the size ability. So that's one thing he's going to have to work on, is being able to pick blitz and to be able to hang in there.
McCaffrey's got the pedigree. His father, Ed, very talented NFL wide receiver. Fake the jet sweep and then hand it off right up inside to McCaffrey, and he's popped after 2 yards. Number 22 jerseys at training camp. Here's what's going to happen one of these years at training camp. Fans are going to call Luke Kuechly over. Luke. And he'll come over and they'll say, could you get Christian McCaffrey to sign my hat?
That's a good technique.
Two receivers each side. One back is McCaffrey. Joe Webb turns McCaffrey to his left side with 4 on the play clock. McCaffrey looks like he kind of knows when the play is about to end, knows to try to end the play on his own terms.
And that's good. That's something that I'm glad that he's learning early, not to have to take those extra hits. But look how he just moves laterally and so quick. He doesn't stop. Everything's a glide and move. He's not stopping and waiting on linemen. He's letting it develop, and he is gone.
Third down and 6. Flags down, Burson, the intended receiver, and he looks to be shaken up.
You're just hoping that he's okay.
Illegal contact, defense number 32. A 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
You see Burson get that outside, gets a little head nod to get some room. But you see the contact all the way down the field. Burson gets nicked up there. He's having a great camp. You just hate to see that right now.
2 players dinged up on that play. Curtis Drummond for Houston, and then Burson with his forehead on the ground. So Burson not putting much weight on his left leg.
Yeah, it looks like that left leg again.
Meanwhile, Vernon Butler has been taken to the locker room. This Panther wide receiving core, Ruck, has 4 or 5 spots on it from guys that they all kind of look alike in a way, and the Panthers are going to have some tough decisions to make.
Yeah, they will. Obviously, they brought in some, Burson, the coach is saying that he's had a very good camp so far, but you got some speed. I mean, obviously, you got Curtis Samuel that you drafted who's got a lot of speed. Demir Bird. Some of these guys are going to have to play a factor on who's going to replace Ted Ginn Jr. in that vertical speed. And so there's going to be some opportunities for guys to make this ball club on pure speed and also in the return game.
Olsen's face tells a lot. Not happy with some of the injuries mounting up tonight here for the Panthers. New series of downs for Carolina. Joe Webb turns to the near side and hands the ball off to the rookie Christian McCaffrey. It's the only game going on tonight, but then the NFC South is active tomorrow night with the Atlanta at Miami tilt. Saints at Cleveland. Some good viewing tomorrow night. A schedule brought to you by our friends at Geico. 15 minutes save you big on your car insurance. McCaffrey, opposite of the Simonson block, and crawled to the 49. Zach Cunningham touched him down, 5-yard pickup.
Just nice positive yards. You know, they send the formation the other way, and he just hits it downhill with that speed. And like you said, Mick, we don't see him so far get many negative yards, if any, so far. Everything has been positive. He is just so fast and so quick that you have to honor that.
Tight splits, 3rd down and 2 from the 49. Fozzie Whitaker doesn't get there. Jameel President wrapped him up.
He's just going to come from the left of your screen. And just going to meet him in the backfield for a negative yard. And the Panthers are going to have to punt the ball.
Panthers tried to wrap Moten around, it looked like, and create a crease for Fozzie Whitaker. Houston's defense very, very good. Looks like they'll be good again this year. The Andy Lee punt, the rugby style punt. 41 yards, no return. Irvin made the catch. Good job by Andy Lee and the punt team. Uptown Charlotte, happy Panther. Colin Jones walks up to try to support the run, ends up making the tackle on Deontay Foreman, the 3rd-round draft choice for Houston from out of the University of Texas.
Again, Houston trying to set the tempo.
Houston
trying to go faster, but they have to spend a timeout. Bill O'Brien in his 3rd year, or 4th year rather, has had 3 straight winning seasons, 2 straight divisional titles. Went to Brown collegiately. He's kind of an offensive guy. He likes working with quarterbacks, Mike.
And I think if you'd say one of their weak spots history-wise has been that quarterback spot. So they definitely could use his expertise there and seeing who can, whether it's Deshaun Watson and being able to develop him into your starter, or if it's one of these other veterans.
On 2nd and 6. The Texans have had some success in the run game. Close to first down yardage. Deontay Foreman right up the middle.
You'll see the linebackers kind of creeping up. Both of the linebackers meeting at the line of scrimmage for this tackle. As this game wears on, the big guys up front are going to be tested with their endurance on it. Can they recreate that line of scrimmage as they did starting the game out early on?
No A.J. Klein anymore, and he leaves a big hole, leadership and a linebacking hole. On 3rd and 1, I think Houston's got it with Desmond Southwood trying to feather Deontay Foreman out in front of the Texans bench area.
Mick, you talked about losing A.J. Klein. You know, they feel good about David Mayo being able to kind of come in and help up where A.J. has left that void.
Didn't think that was a first down. I thought he had picked it up, but the Panthers shove him out of bounds prior to the line to gain. So good defense by Carolina. That's a penalty 100 times out of 100. And finally the flag comes out. Kalen Clay knew it.
You see right here, he's just trying to time it up, but not even close. It is not good timing at all. You know, and this is as a receiver, I mean, a punt returner back there, it could be dangerous when you got a guy coming down and just laying into you.
Kicking team number 35. 15-yard penalty.
Eddie Pleasant
first down
with an unpleasant collision with Kalen Clay. So we'll take a break. Middle second quarter. Your score remains. Corn Elder, Alex Armagh, and Harrison Butker. rounding out the Carolina Panthers 2017 draft class. Bozzy Whitaker. In at running back. Webb's going long downfield, and it's caught for a touchdown. A 50-yard touchdown catch by Damiere Byrd.
Well, we talked about Joe Webb having a really good camp so far, and another guy with the speed. We talked about Tekian Jr. leaving. Who's going to take that speedster spot? Damiere Byrd is going to show you that he's putting his name into the hat.
Oh, it's on. Damiere Byrd from New Jersey played at the University of South Carolina. And he's got wheels.
He just walked away from this corner.
PAT good. 14-7 Carolina Panthers. Byrd he walks almost like a bird. He's got a dainty, kind of a duck-footed little step across campus at Wofford, but what a man.
You can't get a long pass like this unless you have time. You have to tip your hat off to Joe Webb staying in the pocket and his offensive line giving him the time to throw that ball that far down the field. What a nice play by Damiere Byrd.
Did you see the Byrd, the shadow thing with his hands where he
like
his wings? That's got potential.
I like it. See that more often this year.
NFL has relaxed the touchdown celebration rule to allow some creativity like that. I can see that catching on.
Absolutely. But nice connection by Joe Webb and Damiere Byrd.
One play, 50 yards on the drive.
A lot of people know Joe Webb as the special teamer, the one running down on kickoffs and punts. But now he's showing you he can throw the ball, and I can play quarterback too.
The kickoff. Returnable. It's Hunt. Tripped up with a flag down. Tripped up at the 19-yard line. Yeah, Joe Webb is a favorite in the locker room. And I heard
during the return of the kick, holding receiving team number 57. This penalty be assessed half the distance to the goal. First down.
I shouldn't even say this, so I don't have it confirmed. I'm going to say it anyway. This is what I heard at training camp, and we'll check it for next week. Somebody told me that Joe Webb was roommates in college at UAB with country music singer Sam Hunt.
Oh, that's some nice homework. We'll have to check into that. I'm not for sure on that, but that sounds like something to investigate.
We'll send our crack research department after that nugget. Houston's penalty numbers becoming a factor. 8 on the Texans for 57 yards. Panthers have been clean so far. Sean Allen on the quick catch, immediately hemmed in. Let's go to Kevin Donnelly on the Carolina Panthers sideline. Kevin.
Yeah, you don't realize how much this team does work together, because after that touchdown catch, Damiere Byrd gives a big hug to the offensive line coach, Coach Matsko. Those guys know it needs protection on the front end and a great receiver, a great catch on the back end. Good to see those two guys having fun.
Meanwhile, Watson was directing traffic with Eric Kroon lining him up in the crosshairs, and penalty marker down back at the 19.
Holding defense number 55.
Just when we said no penalties on the Panthers.
Going so well, I think
5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Tackling machine, David Mayo.
I think the Panther defense missed one there. The left end, Deshaun Hall, got caught on the bootleg by Deshaun Watson, again buying time to be able to throw the ball downfield.
Captain Munnerlyn helping Julius Peppers work on his listening skills on the Panther sideline. 5 in the pattern. Watson pumps and then delivers. Strike over the middle. And fumble the football. Still loose. Huge scrum for it at the 34. Panther football. Desmond Southwood.
And Steve Wilkes, the defensive coordinator, when we talked to him, he talked about guys running to the ball and then dislodging the ball, being physical. And this is a prime example of being physical and having white shirts around to get the ball back to their offense.
Norris bumped it out of Bayless's hands and into Southward's arms eventually. And Thomas Davis was on it early. He says going that way. So the Panthers go for a quick strike. There's Steve Wilkes, the defensive coordinator, taking over for Sean McDermott. Joe Webb sprints right. Texans taste a stiff arm as Joe Webb slices out of bounds to the 30. I agree with you, Mike, about Joe Webb. I mean, don't fall asleep on this guy. A backup QB in the NFL.
Well, he's brought so much value because he's that emergency quarterback, but he also plays a big factor in special teams. He's running down on all these kickoffs and punts, and so he brings a lot of value to this team, and obviously he's showing you his quarterback and running skills right now.
Panthers are deep at running back. Cameron Artis-Payne in. And Artis-Payne lowers his pads and cracks inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the play. What's he thinking?
I think that he's thinking about his ones. I think he's happy the way the game started. He likes where, you know, no penalties. A couple guys got nicked up, but I think he's happy where this second quarter is going right now.
These are like 5-foot putts that you feel like you should brush in for par. 3rd down and makeable. 3rd and 4, close to the red zone. Not this time for Joe Webb and the Panther offense. Brennan Scarlett tapped that one and deflected it. So he could try a long Graham Gano field goal from here, and why not? He's got the leg. He made it from 55 in the pregame warm-ups.
Yeah, I think this is a good call that you want to get him back in the game. You have this kicking competition going on, and this is a great opportunity to see how he does in this situation.
45 yards, well within Gano's range. And this kick is good. Gano had a miss or two early last year, Mike, but then kind of settled into a rhythm through October, November. Finished this season on a pretty nice uptick.
You know, missed one early in the game, and so you want to get these guys as many opportunities as possible to get film so that they can look at things, their mechanics, and it's good to get him back in the rhythm, get him a long one so he has that confidence in case this game comes down to a game winner.
Panthers have scored 10 straight. You see, the unbelievable thing about NFL football is how it brings people together.
You're right. I mean, it doesn't matter your background in sports. When you come to an NFL game, you can feel the energy here. Even though it's a preseason game, there's a lot of energy here, and you're seeing good product and guys playing hard on the field.
You got Republicans and Democrats getting along in the parking lot.
Everybody.
Pooch-type kickoff. Hunt on a dead run to the 29. It's interesting wrinkle on the kickoffs because, and I think the Panthers are just working. This is not to try to win this game, just working on that where you force the return team to bring it back on you and hope to pin them inside the 25.
Yeah, you're just kind of working on technique, ball placement. Hey, you might have a returner back there that thinks that his heels are at the back of the goal line, and you want to just put it in a spot and make them do something different.
Watson threw high to Devon Street. Almost a hospital ball out there. You want to give the receivers a chance to get their arms down and protect the rib cage.
Especially with number 42, Colin Jones. Special teams ace, but he can play and he can run and he can hit. You just saw him make a nice tackle right there.
6 yards on first down. 10-point Panther advantage. Colin Jones playing deep center field, just out of your screen. Jeremy Cash might have gotten a quick takeoff from Watson's front side. Tony Correnti from California.
Offside, defense number 57. This 5-yard penalty will result in a first down.
I think they just showed the blitz a little too early. Deshaun Watson saw it. He brought his back over, and Cash just excited to try to get there on that blitz and jumped off sides.
Cash, a converted, maybe sort of a hybrid, you might say, played some safety at Duke, and he can run and he can hit. Sort of a Shaq Thompson light, if you will. First down rushing, Deontay Foreman for 14 yards. Cole Luke, Notre Dame rookie, made the stop.
Again, usually on these line plays, watch the defensive line. They got pushed back on the line of scrimmage. And then that just opens up a hole when they run it back and go downhill and doesn't get touched. In those first 3 yards, it's not going to pan out good for you.
Foreman again. Oh, he hurdled the Panther and then skipped out of bounds. Cole Luke came in and got nothing but
good.
air.
The thing for Cole Luke, he needs to keep his feet going. He needs to bring his feet and wrap up. He's just trying to dive to knock his legs out. In this game, you have to be able to wrap up and run through the ball runner.
Foreman timed that. That will not look good in the film room, but Foreman timed that up very well. It was a good play by him.
That was a very good play of him recognizing him going down and just hurling.
Late second quarter in the headlines. Derek Anderson to Kelvin Benjamin. Joe Webb to Demir Bird. Vernon Butler shaken up. Brenton Burson shaken up.
I like the big plays. I like looking downfield, and they've had some big plays from their receivers. We're hoping that these two, maybe these Burson and Butler, hopefully these injuries aren't that bad and they can get back on the field.
First down Houston. Riley McCarron created some separation, and Watson found him. 18-yard gain.
Well, the easiest thing for a young rookie quarterback is to move the pocket, buy himself some time so he can see half of the field. And you've seen him bootleg 3-4 times since he's been in the game. So the left defensive end has to recognize what quarterback's in there and where he wants to roll out.
Five in the pattern. Watson off script. Aborts the play. So many quarterbacks might come to the NFL now from colleges that don't even huddle. I mean, they're just constantly in a spread set with the plays coming in from the sideline. How much of an adjustment will it be for Deshaun Watson to learn how to run an NFL huddle?
Well, it depends on his offensive coordinator if he's going to curtail the offense to his quarterback. You saw Cam when he came in here, some of the things that they did to help him move along, but that is a college game, and you're starting to see that product here at the NFL level.
Akeem Hunt, hands on his knee pads, back arched, just off of Watson's right hip. Flags down. So is Watson feet first at the 17.
Illegal formation, offense, number 82 on the wideout, covered up the tight end. This 5-yard penalty remains second down.
Wendell Williams from the football powerhouse of Cumberland. like seeing those small college guys make it, though. It's kind of neat. And Rook, you went to Nebraska. You got no sympathy for that.
Well, it's kind of neat to see these kids go to these smaller schools and say, you know what, I can still fulfill my dream if I'm not at a D1 school. I can go here. If my product is good enough, I will be seen. And I think technology today helps that.
Exactly. If you're good enough, the league will find you. Hunt on the look in for a first down inside the 15-yard line. 16-yard gain. Watson doesn't look lost out there, does he?
No, he doesn't. He's really feeling really comfortable. He hadn't had a lot of hits. A little mismatch with Cash right there. And you got to wonder, is this defense starting to get tired a little bit with the line of scrimmage? And some of these missed tackles.
Hunt changing direction like a border collie out there, hard to bring down. Here's the CPI red zone numbers for the Panther defense from last year. How would you handicap what the D did in 2016?
Well, you know, solid. I think that, you know, if you talk to any of those guys, they'll say we can always be better. But this is something to build on. This is the defense for the last 4 or 5 years has been solid, whether it's been in the red zone takeaway, and I think they just want to continue to build on that.
Watson from a well-formed pocket, room and time. Now the pocket evaporates, and Watson chucks it out of bounds. A red zone look brought to you by CPI, the official security and home automation company of the Carolina Panthers. So it'll be third down. Watson, still plenty of time on the play clock, moving some folks around. Now he's ready. Bought all the time he could and finally ran out of options. Strez Anderson, the intended receiver, and it's field goal time for Houston. Oh, wait a second. Penalty marker then at the 6-yard line.
An eligible member of the offense downfield prior to the pass. Number 77. This penalty is declined. The result of the play creates 4th down.
You know, it's a blitz by the Panther defense, and they keep him corralled. They do a great job. And when Watson gets out of the pocket, buying time. Look, you got 3 white shirts on each side of him, not letting him go anywhere. And this is the kind of stuff that you practice your 2-minute drills, and when the quarterback has the ball, you practice this quite a bit, so it's good to get this on film.
Kaimi Fairbairn to try a 25-yard field goal right between the 2 hash marks. Leckler puts it down for him, and he got it. It's good. At halftime, Libby Weisman has got a special treat for you. Elizabeth, what's planned?
Hey, Mick, so coming up at halftime will be the story. I recently sat down with Julius Peppers and Captain Munnerlyn on their decision to return home. That story plus halftime stats coming up. Stay with us.
We shall. It's a heartwarming story, too.
It is. We're able to take a little sneak peek before the game, and it's pretty cool to hear what they have to say.
Were you friendly with Julius when you lockered next to one another?
Absolutely. We had a lot of conversation. A lot of people think that he's quiet, but he's actually pretty funny.
Avid reader and very sensitive, layered.
Very educated. Athlete. He does a lot of reading. He doesn't speak a lot, but when he speaks, it comes with volume. And just a good guy. It's good to see him come back home.
You think he's excited about what this defense and what this team can do?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think he's going to kind of allude to some of that in the piece of why and how that helped him make his decision.
So the kickoff from Novak. Simmons. They got it back almost directly to the 25-yard line. Scoot Simmons. Hard to bring down. He is a strong local running back.
Well, Mick, here's another opportunity. This is preseason for the players, but it's also preseason for the coaches too. So this is a great opportunity for Mike Shula, the offensive coordinator, to work his 2-minute offense and his play calling too.
Houston crowding Joe Webb. Now they back up as the offense deploys. Mose Frazier. Mose Frazier had it and couldn't hang on.
Yeah, I just got excited trying to get downfield on that crossing route, but those are the catches you have to have, especially if you're trying to turn some heads and make a team, especially in 2 minutes like this.
Mose Frazier has impressed at camp, first-year player out of Memphis. Talking earlier about how there's some guys that look kind of like him. You got Austin Duke, Mose Frazier, Kalen Clay. A lot of speed at receiver. Fastball grabbed by Garrett. First down, Carolina Panthers. Kearis Garrett wrestled down at the 48, middle of the field.
Well, good ball by Joe Webb, because it almost had you holding your breath because that Texas defense was coming. Garrett getting his hands on there and being able to move the sticks.
23 yards, and the Panthers call a timeout to get organized.
Joe Webb continuing to impress this preseason game. Look at that laser to Garrett. Right down the pipe like a fastball.
Right in between Moore and Nelson, and those are 2 defensive backs for Houston that will play a lot this year. This isn't. And these are still good defenders that Houston has on the field. Projected starting safety and second team corner. Fozzie Whitaker brutally bumping people out of the way for a first down.
But when you do it, when you have a draw play like that, you want a hat on a hat. The offensive line got down to the second level, allowing Fozzie to pick up that first down.
Panthers in a hurry with a minute to play first half. Joe Webb flushed. And he flicks it to Mose Frazier. for 4 yards.
That's your quarterback making something out of nothing, using his feet to buy time. Instead of throwing the ball away, he's able to pick up 4 yards, 3 to 4 yards.
Joe Webb III dunked a basketball for the first time in about the 8th grade.
That's pretty good. I was still working on my dunk. I didn't get that until my freshman year in high school. So
Webb leans back and finds Demir Bird. Weaving to the inside to pick up a first down to the 27. Timeout, Carolina. Demir Bird has had a fine game.
He has, and he's one of those guys that coach staff's going to be looking at to see where he fits in this offense and in special teams with his speed.
Reach you next week from Tennessee. So the Panthers will have them, since this is a Wednesday night game. The reason this game is on Wednesday night is because of the PGA Golf Championship, which starts Thursday at Quail Hollow in Charlotte.
There's a lot of action in town, and so we're here with you on Wednesday night.
Bunch trips right. 1st and 10, Carolina. Those that pop up into the air are always dangerous, can be intercepted. Robert Nelson broke on that Joe Webb pass.
Yeah, you could hear everybody holding their breath. Again, offensive line giving time for Joe Webb. See, Joe kind of stared his target down this time. Kind of dodged one on that one.
Don't want to take a sack here. You've got room, time, and 1 timeout. Preserve at least the ability for Gano to try a field goal. Clean pocket, and it's intercepted in the end zone. Corey Moore slid in there and got it just right.
Yeah, Joe Webb, he knows. He wish he had this one back. He just let that ball hang out there a little bit too long. You'll see it right here. Again, one thing I would say, Joe's kind of staring down where he wants to go, and that ball just too high, too out in front for the easy interception for the Houston Texans.
He's trying to drop it in there to Demir Bird.
And I think he had, when he sees it on film, he had more room to lead him, and he didn't have to put that much English on it. So he'll see that. I know that he probably feels it right now. Wish he had that one back, especially when you had the opportunity to get some points on the board right before half.
He don't even want to look at it. He knows. I think he knows. You got to take your coach, you know, and Webb, of course, will. You saw Ken Dorsey, quarterback coach, bending into to show him what happened on the Microsoft Surface. So now Watson is going to try to move Houston downfield.
And here you don't want to give up a big play. You don't want to allow the Texans to get in field goal position. These linebackers, they have to get depth. Drive up on everything. Keep all the balls in front of you.
22 yards. Watson to Anderson. Now Watson threw it a whisker behind Hunt, and then a flag from behind the play.
Holding, offense number 62. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Seems like every time the Texans get a big play, they have some type of penalty that brings them back.
Chad Slade guilty to hold 10 penalties on Houston for 72 yards.
Now, Coach O'Brien's not going to like that stat right there.
Houston trains at the Greenbrier in, let's see, what's it? This White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. So they're a long way from home. Watson with 10 seconds left in the second quarter. Big bite, long downfield. Teddy Williams played center field perfectly. Anderson, the intended receiver. Coach O'Brien said before Houston came here, as we see Teddy Williams locate the football, that he wanted to see a low penalty, low turnover, crisp game from his team.
You know, I think both of those boxes are not checked because they've had turnover and they've had a ton of penalties. I think turnover, you could just say the guy got hit pretty hard, but the penalties, those are all just, you know, not paying attention or just not doing what you're supposed to do.
Watson drifts, anchors, throws to Anderson. It'll pad the stats, but the second quarter is over. So 2 quarters in the books from Bank of America Stadium. Preseason game.
By the game, so he has the same feel pretty good.
All right, let's get you set for the second half. Mick Mixon and Mike Rucker on the call as the ball is in the air. We'll see you post-game.
Kamikaze somebody after listening to Coach Wilkes. Damiere Byrd twisting to about the 22 on the return. And didn't Wilkes say something interesting, Mike, about how the formation, if you're an alert defender, the formation speaks to you?
Absolutely. You got to listen with your eyes, is what he said. I love it, and I wrote it down. So I'm going to have to use that one these days. You have to listen with your eyes. You could just feel the passion about him being a defensive coordinator, and his ball club definitely responded.
Highly organized and also can motivate as well, Steve Wilkes. Daryl Young and Cameron Artis-Payne in the backfield with Joe Webb. A little toss sweep to the right. For 3, Cameron Artis-Payne. So here in the second half, Panthers will go deeper into their bench. What do you think the Panther coaches are looking to see, Mike?
I think the little things, okay, lining up, making sure we don't have to call unnecessarily timeouts, penalties. They've done a great job of not having a lot of penalties, keeping that down. So I think they're looking for the little things and execution of the plays.
Open receiver near midfield, grab by Damiere Byrd again. 29 yards.
I feel like we've heard his name 1,000 times tonight. Again, Joe Webb finding his speedy receiver in Damiere Byrd, who just leaves the corner in the dust. And it's just an easy pitch catch for Damiere Byrd.
Thought maybe Webb might go to Manhurts, who was open left flat, but instead Webb went longer downfield. Good choice. Split end left, flankers right. And Cameron Artis-Payne breaking tackles.
It starts up front with line play. Talk about the line of scrimmage. Look at the offensive line. Amini Stilatulu get to the next level. That's a big block. And then Cameron Artis-Payne does the rest, running downhill, not side to side, but getting to the second level quick.
Also the 72, Taylor Moten, throwing a good block as well. Fresh series of downs inside the 30. Sometimes the defense is just better than you on a particular play, and that was the case there. Cameron Artis-Payne sandwich right as he got the handoff.
And I think the other thing we point out, Amini Stilatulu, he's playing left tackle.
Yep.
I mean, he was a guard, but I think for Masco and this offense, they want to see if somebody gets nicked up, who can we plug and play with? Who gives us the most versatility? And I think Amini right here is showing you, hey, I can pop out to left tackle if need be.
He's a smaller school guy.
He is.
Western State had some great college tape. Back with the Panthers. That's Chris Manhurts, the tight end, spun down by Zach Cunningham, second-round draft choice from Vanderbilt. Panthers could use some more depth at tight end. There's some good battles there behind Ed Dixon and Greg Olsen.
Yeah, there is some room for some guys to maybe slide up in there. Again, special teams is going to be huge in how you turn some heads there. But after you get past Olsen and Dixon, you need some guys that are proven.
3-by-1 set on third down. It's a foot race. And Webb won it. Very close to the first down. Could be 4th and short.
That's just an old school track meet right there. Meany, I think, does a great job of staying with them. Joe Webb has the pocket presence to know when that inner clock goes off, saying it's time to go. And Joe Webb did that.
And it is a first down, Carolina Panthers. CPI red zone stats. You like that touchdown percentage in the red zone?
I do. I do. I think that, again, you talk to the guys, they'll say, hey, we missed some last year, but they're moving and they can trend in the right direction. I feel like, you know, when you're in the red zone, you need to be able to get points and not turn the ball over.
The red zone numbers courtesy of CPI, the official security and home automation company of the Carolina Panthers. Cameron Artis-Payne getting oiled up and has had some good moments tonight. Newton spectating, but he will have used up many liters of oxygen talking with and exhorting his teammates tonight. Straight drop. Was it caught at the 9? No. Coach Rivera with the challenge handkerchief. What do you think? Close.
It's going to be close. I mean, it looks like he gets his hands underneath it. It looks like the tip of the ball does go through his hands a little bit.
Yeah, you won't win that one.
I think Coach Rivera is going to hold off at this point. I think it's a good call.
3rd down 11. Ball's at the 19. And a timeout. Coach Rivera, arms folded across his ample chest. He could have called that timeout or called for it so he could talk about the preceding play with Tony Correnti and his crew.
It looks like he might be challenging.
Challenge the Demir Bird incomplete pass.
This would be good work for. You can see that left hand is there, but it's not underneath. But I think they're going to look at, does he have control? Is the ball moving? And that's the factor that's going to go into the referee's hands and what he thinks.
So what we know is Bird caught it cleanly. We can conclude that. It's as clean a catch as you could make there, but was he assisted by the ground?
And, you know, you're in the red zone. You know, you're playing well ball. I mean, this is something, you know, the referees, they need to get some work too. It's preseason for them. So, you know, it's not a bad call. I think that Demir Bird has control over it. It's going to be the tip of that ball and how much touch the grass.
This year, all replays will be looked at and ruled upon in New York. So there's no hood at the stadium where the referee disappears under.
With the first timeout.
So it was incomplete.
It looks like in New York they said it was incomplete. It's a big 3rd down right here.
Webb sends Kieris Garrett. Bird and Frazier to the right. Manhurts to the left. Wide splits on 3rd and 11. Webb using his feet for a first down. Incredible.
I feel like Joe Webb felt that blitz coming. And he knew if he didn't have something right away, he had to buy time. The Texans bring the blitz. Joe Webb, once again, buys time with his feet and says, you know what, I'm not throwing it. I'm going to go ahead and run it for the first down. Joe Webb is going to be tired tomorrow.
He gave that shoulder to Daniel Ross and got around him. 10th play of the drive. 1st and goal, Panthers. Cameron Artis-Payne. Nice play by Robert Nelson Jr.
I like the call from Shula. It's a misdirection. Get everybody going one way, pull your big guys the other. Cameron Artis-Payne just ran out of real estate to be able to turn that corner right there.
Isn't it amazing how much better misdirection works when direction is working?
That's it. And that's where, as a coordinator, you're trying to set something up for the 3rd and 4th quarter.
Webb zips it end zone, complete. Damiere Byrd, touchdown. The Damiere Byrd show continues.
And he continues to fly. You know, sometimes a quarterback just has chemistry with certain receivers. And I think these two are building that chemistry here in this first preseason game. Again, Joe Webb looking to his right, and it comes back to Damiere Byrd. One of his receivers got doubled at the goal line, but then it opened up the back of the end zone for Damiere Byrd.
23-10 Panthers with the PAT pending. This is Harrison Butker. Charades his string and right through there. So how about that? Joe Webb eluding a rush and then finding Damiere Byrd for the touchdown. The Panthers back up by 14. Maybe.
They're making a good run for it.
That scoring drive, 11 plays, 78 yards, 6:14 elapsed. And the kickoff by Butker. Pretty deep and a touchback. So the defense has got a new look with Julius Peppers back in town. Luke Kuechly on how that feels.
He's just one of those guys that, you know, be a Hall of Fame guy for sure, but he's Julius Peppers, and that's really all you got to say about him. He's a larger-than-life guy and kind of do a lot of different things, and he's another good guy that's been around that understands what it takes to win, and I think he's very motivated this year, and he's going to help some very younger guys.
Yeah, I always like to see good ball players excited to play with other good ball players, and you got a guy who's going to be a Hall of Famer in Julius Peppers, and you got a great one that's on his way, and Luke Kuechly speaking highly about the guy he's going to be able to play with.
Peppers is just not like other people.
No, I think they come once in a lifetime. When you're 6'7", you know, almost 300 pounds, and you run like a deer, yeah, they don't grow on trees like that.
Remember early in his career when Peppers would line up and play receiver, running back, and different things. He's ticketed for the Hall of Fame. Look at his sack numbers, Mike.
Yeah, you know, and the neat thing about it, 3 of the 5, you know, played here in this stadium. And obviously he's still playing, and he's actually going to have an opportunity to push those numbers even closer.
Kevin Green, Reggie White, and Julius Peppers.
The neat thing is I got to play with all 3 of them. So that's something I think is pretty cool.
Well, you prop their world up. There's no accident. See, well, they were singled up the entire game because you got double teamed every play.
Yeah, right. I was the one trying to help them. They did it. They, you know, being able to play with Kevin Green, Reggie White, and then to be able to play with Pep for 6 years is definitely an honor for me. I learned a lot from those guys.
Watson hit from behind, but he dove close to the first down. The officials come in and spot it just a little bit short. So Kevin Donnelly, our sideline reporter, had to go against Julius Peppers. And Kevin, you got some stories to tell on that.
Oh my gosh, this guy was a beast. I had to block him when he was a rookie in the NFL, and he was almost unblockable even in practice. I got to see my dear friend Jordan Gross, the right tackle at the time, struggle at times with Julius Peppers. And what's so fantastic is, as I watch practice down in Spartanburg, how fantastic he's doing down there with getting acclimated with this defense and playing so fast and athletic.
Could be the no-brainer play here on 4th down. No, Houston's going to go for it. It's the preseason. You can do that kind of thing, and they have it rushing Foreman in between the tackles.
Yeah, I think the reason why they go for that, they want to see more of Deshaun Watson. You know, I think that they have a play count in their mind, and they want to have some plays. They want to see him. They want him to get more action, and so then you go for it.
We're in the 3rd. Panthers have never trailed. Watson to Hunt to the 44. What has Deshaun Watson shown you so far?
I think that he is not nervous of this big stage. I think that he's just kind of picked up where he left off. I really like the way that he moves. He's not looking to run first, but he's buying himself time, and he's had some opportunities to run and to get the first down. He's taken it.
Hunt with a flag down. Hunt, pending the penalty, would have the first down. Ben Jacobs hit him.
Holding, offense number 65. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Another penalty on the Texans. The 11th.
You know, the other thing about Watson is that he's taking care of the ball. You know, he hasn't really forced the ball. He's taking care of it, and he's taking what the defense has given him.
Watson's got that clock in his head. He seems, when that back foot hits, he seems to know he can't hang in there too long.
Yeah, there's some good pressure for the up front of the Panthers defensive line. They collapse the pocket. It's what you're taught to do. But Watson, again, that clock goes off, and he's going to take what you give him. And with the one thing that I've seen him do quite a bit today is he slides. He's not looking to dive to get that extra yard. He's going to take care of his body and live to see the next play.
So he's turned an unfavorable down and distance into 3rd and 4, manageable. Looking left, throwing left. Anderson held on to it for the first down.
You have to like what the Texans offense is doing. They're just methodically moving the chains, getting to midfield. Nice mixture of runs and passes. I think this Panther defense has got to watch them trying to take a shot deep, though.
Hunt out, Foreman in the backfield. 3-step drop, and the sideways throw to McCarron with Teddy Williams covering. Incomplete. NFL schedule, 7 games on tap for tomorrow, including the Miami, Atlanta tilt, New Orleans at Cleveland, Jacksonville, New England. Brought to you by our schedule, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Slot right, 1 back. And Foreman for about 6 feet to the 49. Hit by Brian Cox. Defensive line loaded for the Panthers. Eric Kroom. Third down and 8. Let's see what Watson can come up with. Anderson. First down. 19 yards. Watson's had some poise about him tonight.
He has. I mean, I wouldn't believe that you would say he's a rookie and this is his first game. Obviously, the Panthers, they drop back in a little zone, and Watson finds the open window and just delivers it for the first down. Again, he's very poised for a young rookie quarterback.
Hunt disappears under a tsunami of white jerseys. Jared Norris the last to get up.
The other thing about Watson that I'm seeing is that he's controlling the offense. He's telling people what to do. He's giving his check calls. There's not a lot of mistakes on his part.
It's a long drive started at the 25, 12th play in the drive. Carolina shows blitz. Hunt to the 16, Akeem Hunt from Purdue. Hit by Ben Jacobs. I think Watson, if he checked into that, that's heady football because the Panthers showed that double-A gap blitz. So Watson would know that the middle of the field underneath would be open to him.
And he called it, he changed the play, and he slid the line. Again, some of the things that we've been talking about, that's a veteran move. He is not rattled by the blitz, and he gets into the right call.
13th play. Street, the intended receiver. Cole Luke from Notre Dame has a lot of eyes on him at training camp because the Panthers can use some depth in the back.
Yeah, you heard his name come up a couple times from the coaching staff in our interviews of them wanting to see him this game.
Fullback Prosh in the game. Offset eye with a wing on the right. Foreman made the grab, got up, tried to run with it, and then came Jeremy Cash. This drive just continues. It's like being in the, for the Panther defense, like being in a boa constrictor's coil.
Well, you know, this is the 15th play coming up, and when you look at both offenses on both sides of the ball, they've had long drives. So from the coaching staff perspective, you like coming out of halftime of what your offenses are doing. Defensively, someone needs to get a stop and get off the field.
Stack twins to the near side on third down. Touchdown, Deshaun Watson, 15 yards.
Again, Deshaun Watson having the presence of a veteran to see he has nothing. He's got man-to-man coverage, and then just walks into the end zone untouched. When you have man-to-man coverage as the defensive line, you have to keep them in the pocket because your guys are running downfield with their backs to the quarterback. They can't see him break the pocket.
Talented young trigger man, and you know, someday all quarterbacks may look like that. They can throw. They're not just slingers of the ball. They can pass, and they can make plays with their feet.
Well, I think if you're the Texans coaching staff, you got to be pleased with what you saw out of your rookie in these first two quarters. So, you know, getting him out of there at this point would be good, but you've got to be pleased.
Settled into a pretty good ball game. 24-17, Carolina. Back with more after this word from your local Panther station. Starting here on Thursday, the Houston scoring drive. 75 yards, 15 Piston-like plays with really Deshaun Watson showing why Houston thinks he might be their quarterback future.
Yeah, both offenses took up the whole third quarter, and both teams scored on two drives.
Kalen Clay had a notion and took a knee. 56 seconds left in quarter number 3. 7-point ball game from Bank. The way 2016 went down, and Coach Rivera thinks he's got a deep and talented roster, and for some reason the Panthers seem to have their best seasons when not as much is expected. of them. Garrett Gilbert in at QB. More about him in a second. Backs are in the eye. And Clay on the reverse with green grass in front of him. Almost 20 yards before Denzel Rice hit him down. 18 yards. You don't need blockers if you can influence the defense with that kind of offense.
And they did a great job with the hard flow. The defensive end collapse on that, allows Clay to get on the corner really quick and get vertical so fast that he gets in the secondary of the Texans really quick.
So Garrett Gilbert walks him up and puts him down at the 43, 1st and 10. Deep drop, clubbed in the head, and dragged down, flag down. Brandon Dunn got through there. It's going to be a hold, I think.
You see the big mitt all
use
over.
of the hands to the face. Offense number 79. The penalty is declined.
Wow. I think one was missed right there, that big paw. I mean, nowadays you can't put your hand on a quarterback's helmet like that, even if it just slides off the top of it. So I'm surprised that that one was missed right there.
Garrett Gilbert heard the announcement of hands to the face, and he's probably thinking, what about my face? Gilbert's an interesting story. He committed to Texas and played for Mack Brown, then lost the quarterback job one year. Check down to Simmons. That should end the quarter. More about Gilbert and his transfer to SMU when we come back at the end of 3. A 7-point Carolina Panther lead. Back with more Panther Texans football after this word from your local Panthers station.
Yeah, they basically did. I mean, they both came out the way that you'd ask an offense to come out, and the stats show that it's pretty even, and that's why you got a close ball game.
Kevin Donnelly with a very special guest after this 3rd and 17 play. Tunnel screen Clay. Stiff arm. Clay did all he could, milked it to the 47. But the Panthers will have to punt it away. All right, Kevin Donnelly with a special guest down on the field.
Well, thank you, Mick. I got Thomas Davis with me right here going on year number 13. Thomas, how do you do it?
You know, it's been fun. It's been a great journey. You know, just thinking about all the stuff that I had to overcome early on in my career, and just to be able to still play at this level and be able to contribute to this team has definitely been a blessing.
Well, it's great to see you on the field. You're performing at a high level. I know you guys, I've heard it from Coach Wilkes, want to regain the dominance of the NFC South. What kind of steps have you gone through during camp to try and get there?
You know, we've really gone back to the basics. You know, Coach Wilkes has taken over for Coach McDermott, and, you know, I think Coach Wilkes has done a really good job of, you know, keeping things simple, you know, allowing us to come in and utilizing the talent that we have on this defense and allowing guys and putting guys in position to make plays.
Who are some young guys that you're going to have to depend on in backup roles for depth that you've seen that have surprised you during camp?
I would definitely point to, you know, guys like Luke Cole. I think he's done a tremendous job this camp, and a few of the other younger guys in our linebacker room. You know, when you look at Jared Norris and David Mayo, those guys have stepped up big time. You know, when you lose a guy like A.J. Klein, who's a very dependable backup, a guy that has played a lot of football for us, you have to have somebody to step up, and Mayo has done a tremendous job.
Well, great to hear. I'm glad the defense is really shaping up, and thank you for that. Best of luck this season.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Watson to Bayless, short and right for about 5-6 yards. Thomas Davis has not just made football history, he's made medical history with what he's been able to do.
Yeah, and, you know, it's tough to come back from, you know, 1 ACL surgery, but the 3, and then to go on and have a career that he's having when you're coming off of Pro Bowls and helping a team, you know, go to a Super Bowl. I mean, that veteran leadership, I mean, he's just bringing a lot to the table.
Blitz off the edge. Houston picked it up. Watson's pass just incomplete, long downfield. He's not just played, TD hasn't just played serviceable football. He's He's at the height of his powers, it seems.
He is. I mean, he keeps getting better. And, you know, I always love to tell this story. I mean, when we couldn't find a way to stop Michael Vick when he came in, we went to Thomas Davis. He had the speed and the size to help us stop Michael Vick. And so it's great to see him and his career just continue to grow after those hurdles with those ACL surgeries.
Watson leans in, asks for the ball, has it on third down. Good idea, but incomplete. With Deshaun Hall, rookie DN covering.
You know, and with Hall being in the game, they want to see what he can do, and he's gotten a lot of action tonight. You saw his little quick speed.
Hall looked a little shell-shocked, just to my untrained eye, early in OTAs and minicamp, but he's gotten his legs under him, I think. Austin Duke measuring. Not much Duke could do that time. Good punt. Punt's got that kind of hang time. 7 games on Thursday and then some more spaced out over the weekend. Look around the league brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you big time. 15% or more on your car insurance. Garrett Gilbert playing for both Texas, and then he transferred to SMU and finished up his college career. Handoff goes to Jalen Scoot Simmons. Smashed after a yard. So I think Gilbert is a name you can keep kind of in the Rolodex. If he doesn't make the Panthers, I know the Panther coaches think he's come into training camp and done a really, really nice job.
His name came up a couple times.
Austin Duke fumble taken away by Houston, and they'll score a defensive touchdown. Dylan Cole. What in the world?
Yeah. Yeah. It pops out. And it just showed you how quick things can change in this game.
34 yards. Dylan Cole just put a big paw down and grabbed the ball and had him a convoy of blockers.
Yeah, and you know, it's unfortunate that because you have some momentum going, and then all of a sudden, boom, just like that, and then you possibly have almost a tie ball game.
I think it might have been Denzel Rice, 22, corner from out of Coastal Carolina. Let's see if it's Rice that made the hard tackle. It is, and then the ball's out. So the question is, was it a catch?
Was he able to make that football move? He goes up, he gets the ball here, bobbles a little bit, gets control. Again, I think it's in that gray area. His left hand gets in there and knocks the ball out.
So Tony Correnti, the referee, is communicating with New York. So Correnti can see the play, of course, but the decision will be made in New York City at the league office and then relayed to the referee.
Yeah, I think, did he get that right foot down as he's trying to make that move, and then was the ball still moving? You know, the left hand comes in there and knocks it out, and it starts moving, but we've had a couple calls that have been right there in that grade that could go either way. I think
the ruling on the field was a fumble. At least I'm thinking anyway, that probably stands as that.
Yeah, and then something's got to show them that says otherwise.
And they've taken some time to look at it, so.
Tony Correnti, former social studies teacher in California.
It was an incomplete pass. It will be Carolina's ball.
I think the Panthers catch a break right here. But I don't think that right foot, I think they looked at that right foot and might not have a control of that and didn't get that right foot down when he was spinning. Either way, the Panthers get another shot at 3rd and 9, try to keep this drive going.
Oh, that's huge. And points come off the board, and the Panthers get the down over again, a chance to convert on 3rd and 10. So Gilbert with 8 on the play clock. Austin Duke could not hang on.
And Austin Dukes, if he hangs on to this, he gives himself a shot to get the first down. The Texans are running the game up front, getting the shot. But Dukes, he catches that. He gives himself a shot to stretch out for the first down.
So give Gilbert credit that he went to an intelligent place with the ball.
Yeah, he didn't force it. He took what the defense gave it. It was underneath the first down marker, but again, you drop the balls, it doesn't give yourself a chance.
Pilardi with a flag down in the area of McCarron, and now another flag comes in. Around the 20-yard line. Good punt by Michael Pilardi, however. One flag came out early while the punt was still in the air. So here's Tony Correnti.
On the play, both against the receiving team. Illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 32. This penalty is declined. Holding during the kick. Receiving team number 37. This penalty is accepted. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
51 yards on the Pilardi punt. So 12:20 to play, Bank of America Stadium. Back with more Panther football after a word from your local Panther hard line when play resumes. But right now to our sideline reporter, Kevin Donnelly.
Yeah, Mick, thank you. I'm with Greg Olson. Three years in a row, 1,000 yards receiving. You got to be thrilled with that. I know you set the goal to get it to get the fourth one this year. What are you doing to work towards that?
You know, it's just nothing different. You know, just try to keep doing what I've done the last couple years. You know, the off season with my preparation and getting myself physically ready for the demands of the season and then just try to be reliable, try to get open, and when they throw it, try to catch it. It's not a lot to it. Just got to try to get it done.
Does it change your preparation at all with Cam Newton being out and Derek Anderson in?
Of course it's tough. Your star quarterback, obviously hasn't had a lot of throws with us over the last couple, weeks and months. But sometimes in the NFL, that's the way it goes. And everybody around the league is dealing with something. Ours, unfortunately, is with our quarterback. But we're confident that when it matters most, he'll be out there. And until then, we'll just keep working with DA and Joe and Garrett and make the most of these reps.
Well, last question. You got some new pieces on offense to work with. Russell Shepard, obviously Christian McCaffrey. What's it like to have those guys in this offense, and do you think they'll bring a lot to the Panthers this season?
I think they will. I think we've seen tonight, we got some guys that, we're a little faster. I think we have some more guys that have a little more juice to them, and I think you've seen some of that tonight in their short time here. But, those guys you mentioned are all doing a great job. Christian is as good as you can expect for a rookie and first rounder to come in. He's, I think, everything we thought he was going to be, and he'll carve out a really nice role for us this year. And just got to keep finding more and more guys who can do something with the ball.
Well, thank you, Greg, for your time. Best wishes on the season.
Appreciate it.
Effie Obata, international player, London, England, did not play college football, just knifed in there and made the sack on Deshaun Watson.
It's actually a nice play. He fought through two guys to get there. So he fought hard to get Deshaun Watson. It's not easy to get him down on the ground.
He is a long, lean, good-looking athlete. Panther coaches, he caught their eye early in training camp. Blitz coming, and it gets there. Watson sacked at the 35. L.J. McCray from Catawba.
Yeah, they bring the blitz and they bring it quick. There's nowhere for Watson to go. He has to just eat this ball. Tip your hat off to this Panther defense and the right call at the right time.
Very good call by Steve Wilkes. And Houston will punt it away, down 7. Good punt, deep and high. And on the return, the 25, the 30, the 35-yard line, but a flag down back at the 20. Austin Duke. And Coach Rivera thinks he might know what this penalty is.
During the return of the kick, personal foul, blindside block with contact to the head neck area of a defensive player. Number 56. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
Zeke Bigger, number 56. So we'll take a break. Romeo Bearden Park, very colorful tonight. Carolina still up by 7. This is going to be fun to watch. No disagreement there. And here's another one. Hope this good showing of Panther defense carries over to the regular season. The Krispy Kreme sweet tweets. Hard to say all that without your mouth watering, thinking about what's in the boxes. Panthers crease Houston. Scoot Simmons for 19 yards.
Yeah, the offensive line does a great job right here, recreating the line of scrimmage and kind of going with guys on the blitz. Allowing Scoot Simmons for that 19-yard gain.
Simmons played at South Carolina State. So the Panthers get watered up after a Houston timeout. How important is, I mean, there's obviously more things important, Mike Rucker, in the preseason than winning the game, but is that on the list of things that the coaches want to see as a victory?
Yeah, they definitely want to win. I think every guy over there wants to win at the end. But I think the coaches are looking at the execution up to that point, and then are we in a position to win, and then let's go get it.
Gilbert with Manhertz, the tight end, trading from near to far. Run play stuff by Houston.
Yeah.
So you see Chris Scott unpiling there. Amini Silatolu is number 65 now. Sort of a actually, I think it's fair. Retooled Panther offensive line with Darrell Williams, and Taylor Moton at right tackle, and then with Matt Khalil in to play left tackle. It's got promise. Once again, Scoot Simmons banged down after 3 yards. So the Panthers have scheduled some practices with Tennessee. Carolina will get out there on Tuesday, and then we'll be there for the Saturday broadcast. Can't wait to see you there then for that. Panthers at Tennessee, Music City. Under 8 minutes to play, and flag down.
Offense, number 65, 5-yard penalty, and it remains.
So if you had to name a star of the game right now, would Damiere Byrd be on your short list?
I think so. I think that he's shown, he could catch the ball on the special team side, and then he can also go deep with that speed and catch the ball too. So I think definitely he is the guy that has stood out tonight. We have called his name so many times. I'm going to go to bed thinking Byrd, Byrd, Byrd.
4 catches, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. Byrd has been the word tonight at the stadium. Duke got free, and Cradle caught that pass at the 42-yard line for a first down.
Garrett Gilbert stands in the pocket. He's got some protection. The Texans bring the blitz. He takes a hard one at the end of it. The offensive line picks everybody up. Throws it to a wide open Austin Dukes. But you were staring at, 3rd and long. And now you found a way to get out of that pinch. Keep this drive alive.
Split in left, flanker right. On first down. Play action. Touch pass. Caught. Duke. First down.
In my opinion on this play right here, that play action froze the linebacking core. See the linebackers all bite up on that, and look at the corner. So that allows Duke to be able to have that wide open range and work that field. And all Gilbert has to do is just throw it to a wide open Duke. That play action was a really good play action right there. And that is set up by the run. The Panthers have been able to run the ball a little bit.
21 yards. And this is chewing up some clock too. Another score here would be big for Carolina. Garrett looking over the route tree, and Gilbert whips a pass intended for Austin Duke. Marcus Robertson covering.
I'm getting this feeling that these quarterbacks find a receiver that they like, and then these receivers are catching their balls, and you have these 2 combos. So you got a Gilbert Duke show going on in the 4th quarter.
So all these plays are plays that Deshaun Watson and Houston are not able to run. Panthers have flipped the field, looking for points. Simmons crawls for a few. Panthers will open the regular season out west, San Francisco. Houston begins the regular season against Jacksonville in Houston. Garrett Gilbert, 6'4", 230-pound QB. Coach Ron Rivera and Jim Skipper, running back coach, on the sideline. Third down, 7, all-out blitz. Graham, incomplete. No flags down. Denzel Rice from Coastal Carolina providing the coverage.
Now the Houston Texans threw everything out, man, the kitchen sink. That ball was put in the right place. It comes to the inside, it might get picked off. So it was either he gets it or no one gets it. So Garrett Gilbert put the ball in the right spot there.
The rookie Harrison Butker from Georgia Tech, engineering major, from 51 yards. Got a chance. Good. Harrison Butker making his mark. So the Panthers add 3, making it a 10-point game again. And Mike, Kevin, and I'll be back with early this most recent Carolina scoring drive. 4:21, 9 plays, over 50 yards. Butker from 51 to put 3 more on the board. McCarron, one of the deep men. So A fidget spinner, kind of a high spinning kickoff. McCarron takes it, angling toward midfield. Oh, tattooed at the 18, hit very hard. So here's our game recap. Here's what's happened so far. Two of the stars not playing tonight, Cam Newton and Julius Peppers. But Kelvin Benjamin was in uniform. And so is Demir Bird. Luke Kuechly didn't play long, but he was in fine form. And then CMC, Christian McCaffrey, the rookie back. It's been a good night so far from the stadium for the Carolina Panthers. Brandon Weeden in at QB. Pushed out of bounds at the 20. Back down to Kevin Donnelly, our sideline reporter.
Well, with me is James Bradbury, second-year player out of Samford, having a fantastic camp. What is the big difference from last year to this year and how you've grown as a player?
Pretty much everything mentally has slowed down. I'm able to learn formations and tell a lot about the personnel, splits and stuff like that. So I'm in my playbook more, got the scheme down, so everything's slowing down.
Well, we talked to Steve Wilkes. He said he's really amazed at how much you've learned this year, and also with Daryl Worley. But he said something real interesting. He talked about how the corners really have to set the physicality of the defense, not the D linemen or linebackers, but the corners. They have to be great tacklers.
Yeah, man, a stigma for most corners is that we're soft. We don't like to tackle. So Coach Wilkes all the time, he always tells us that the cornerback, we pretty much set the tone for the game. We set the tone for the defense because we have to come up and be able to tackle and be physical with the receivers.
Well, I know you're a young player, but you're the starter. You're going to need some depth behind you. Who are some of these guys we need to keep a lookout for during these last few preseason games?
Teddy Williams, he made a few plays today. You got Zach Sanchez on the outside as well. Cole Luke, he's one of our young guys. He's been picking up the defense pretty well. He also been playing well throughout camp this year.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Wish you the best this season.
39, automatic first down.
Those rookie corners, the young cornerbacks, not rookies anymore. Their rookiness evaporated about midseason last year. The penalty on the Carolina Panthers, the defensive holding was at the penalty. Jeff Richards might have been DPI, defensive pass interference. So that moves the ball to the 49 of Houston, 4:17 to play. Brandon Weeden, former Cowboy, former Brown. Hands off on a draw. Belted down at the 42-yard line is Ogunbowale, Dare Ogunbowale, a rookie who played at Wisconsin.
You know, it was very interesting, you know, Bradbury and what Coach Wilkes was talking about setting the tone, you know. It's very interesting. I've never heard it presented that way about, hey, the other teams are going to try to put the running back on the corner for that same reason, thinking that the corners are soft. And for them to set the tone, that speaks volumes.
He articulated it, Coach Wilkes did very well, and he just said, corners, you got to just plan on it. You know, target that hip and form a man up and make the tackle.
Absolutely. And because the defense is meant to filter the ball to the outside, and so your corner's out there. He's got to be able to tackle in this scheme.
This is interesting here. Look at that. Press corners. And Weeden flushed. Weaves up the middle for 3 or 4 yards. Zach Moore ended the play. Brandon Weeden is 33, former Oklahoma State product. He's been around a while, in and out of football.
Yeah, he's been around. You've heard that name before. Had the presence to pull the ball down and grab 3-4 yards.
Panthers giving more cushion in the secondary, but here comes McCray on the Cowboy stunt. Banged into Weeden just as he threw the ball. Wow. Derez Anderson, the intended receiver.
Yeah, he's feeling that one right now. I mean, that was probably about a 10-15 yard start. You'll see him come into the picture, and that's right in that lower rib cage. Yeah, you'll see. Nice legal hit, and he's going to feel that one.
That's that physicalness from the secondary that Coach Steve Wilkes is asking for his guys to bring to the table.
Remind me, I got a good note for you on L.J. McCray, who made that quarterback hit in the second. Ball batted up into the air, almost intercepted, but incomplete. Effie Obata with some good hands. So McCray comes off. He's coming off a walkthrough the other night at Camp Wofford. Well, here's the replay, Ruck.
Hey, you'll see this is, they show blitz and they bring it from the outside. And Efe just gets that hand up there and gets that ball. Allows yourself an opportunity to get that pick. Like you said earlier, when that ball goes tumbling in the air like that, 9 times out of 10, the defense grabs that thing.
This will be a 55-yard field goal. Kaimi Fairbairn from long range. Squirts to the right and incomplete, or no good rather. Yeah, he sliced it. Have to re-tee and take a mulligan on that. So anyway, so I was telling you about McCray. So McCray's coming off the field at the walkthrough. Beautiful summer night, Camp Wofford. And I hear the other DBs going, LJ, big ups, big ups. So LJ McCray takes one step and does a forward, leaps into the air somersault, and lands on his feet. I mean, perfectly. Wow. Like Olga Corbett, Mary Lou Rett. Wow.
I would break apart trying that.
I'd be in a neck brace and you'd have to call 911. McCray is springy, man. Well, excellent athlete.
Well, he sprung into that quarterback. Good field position for the Panthers.
We'll be at the 2-minute warning soon. Yeah, the Panthers with enough points now to win the game may just be content to kind of sit on Houston a little and try to get some of the air out of it. Houston will go back to White Sulphur Springs, Virginia. Carolina will return to Wofford for more practice. Did you like being at Wofford? Did you like when you played, Mike, that the Panthers could kind of get away and come together?
It wasn't bad because, you know, when we had our time off, we could just drive home versus, you know, being in another state where maybe you had to stay there. So I love being down at Wofford. It was close to home. The family could come down when they wanted. Great location.
Pads popping all over the place in there as Scoot Simmons hard running across the 50. So this should take us to the 2-minute warning. And it does. Brian Khalil, Charles Johnson chatting it up on the sideline. 2 minutes to play. Perfect Ford. Go to buyafordnow.com and make a connection at your local Carolina Ford dealer today. There was the money shot right there. Joe Webb to Demir Bird, 8 yards. The drive, 11 plays, 78 yards, 6 minutes and 14 seconds off the clock.
Good for him.
That made it 24-10 Panthers.
Congratulations.
And there they are, the protagonists of the Ford drive of the game, Webb and Bird.
That the runner did not fumble the football.
Two minutes remaining. So it looks like the New York looked at that last run. Let's see.
See the ball. When it gets in that pile. Like right in there. See the ball
Austin.
pop out. This might be a good call, a good challenge.
Yep. Simmons crushed his teammate Duke. Watch this. Boom.
Yeah.
That's one of the hardest licks of the game, was friendly fire.
And then that ball just scoots right out. Yeah.
So is there a clear recovery?
That will be the next the next decision, who comes up with the ball. Because it's clear the ball comes out.
So what will Duke learn from that play? Don't just stand, turn around and look at to see where your running back is. Find somebody to block, I guess, and keep blocking them.
But here's the question, Mick. Like, I don't see anybody pick the ball up.
No, I didn't either. It's a good call. We'll have to see what Tony Carini and his crew come up with.
The ruling on the field will stand as there was a fumble but no clear recovery and a pile of players. Therefore, Carolina will keep the ball. 4th down.
He's preserving the opportunity to go for it.
And this is going to be a coaching thing I guarantee both sides will talk about. You'll see in practice, guys will always pick the ball up, and you're like, why is he always running with it? That is a perfect example right there. If someone picks it up, now all of a sudden it's a clear call.
So on 3rd and 3, Simmons wrestled to the ground short of the first down by Matthew Godin. So it'll be 4th and 2. No sign of a punter.
A good opportunity to run your short yardage. Go in the bag of tricks or power plays that you can pound out 2 yards to get a first down to seal a game.
Panthers will let the clock though run as far down as it will, and then take a timeout. Situational football. Every opportunity to practice all these kinds of things can mean the difference.
They'll go over all these situations tomorrow.
Coach O'Brien from the Bill Belichick part of his coaching tree, so you know he's got a bend for detail as well.
Absolutely.
O'Brien will not be happy. In fact, it might even be worth calling up his comments on the Houston Texans website tomorrow or the next day, because surely he'll be asked about all his team's penalties. And he's kind of fun to watch at press conferences because he gets a little bit irritated with the press corps. Just short.
Yeah, coming up short. Yeah, I think he's got a bright spot in his quarterback, his rookie quarterback, and Deshaun Watson. A couple plays here and there, but the penalties are going to suck the air out of everything that they've done tonight.
Well, Ruck, we've talked about it. We've run the diags on it, and there's your keep pounding player of the game, Damiere Byrd. 98 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns, a couple of nifty punt returns as well. This season, the Panthers continue to honor former linebacker Sam Mills by identifying the key pounding player of the game. Whedon's pass brought in by Bayless. Stops the clock at 1:01. Up next, Carolina at Tennessee.
And that'll be an interesting week. I mean, that from a player standpoint, that'll break up the end of training camp, going out there and being able to practice against some new faces. They end up playing them on Saturday.
Houston next, August 19th, hosting New England. Good pass. Wheaton to Thompson for 21 yards and a first down. 47 seconds left. Texans in a hurry, and they clock it. Houston was 9-7 last year, and they won a playoff game. They got to the divisional round. So they're on the come under Coach Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, I think that, obviously having a top-notch defense that they had last year, if they can continue to have that defense, you're getting J.J. Watt back in the fold, the offense, if they can just build on what they can do off of last year, they can give themselves a shot.
Whedon's pass broken up at the 11-yard line. Thompson, the intended receiver. And Damian Parms was in the right spot.
Yeah, just great pressure by Brian Cox, number 64, right in Whedon's face. And then on the back end, your two DBs lay a nice hit. Jar that ball out of there.
So I got a question for you after this play about Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
Put Mike on the spot just a little. 3rd and 10. Whedon in trouble, sack at the 41. Zeke Bigger from East Carolina came scot-free right up inside.
And you see this a lot. Usually you see Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly mugging those A-gaps. They've been showing it all day, and they're just hitting it hard for the sack. That was a big play, pushing them out.
7 seconds left. Whedon launches it toward the end zone, and it is out of the end zone. The football game is over.